I think you're the captain. You should lead this. And where are our eyes? Are we all deadpanning the camera, or are we being normal?
I think hitting the camera is good.
hit
I like hitting the
camera.
camera. Yeah, that's
All
good.
right.
All right.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
A very, very impressive man, and an incredibly interesting man as well, I've got to say. Ross Noble joins us to the studio right
It's
now.
a lovely introduction.
Ross,
the very first time anyone has called me an impressive man.
You are impressive,
Wow.
though.
Yeah.
You're very impressive,
Yeah.
I think.
Certainly, I've never heard it from a woman.
What have you heard from women, Ross?
Well, oh, good Lord. That was me. That wasn't what women have said. Oh, good Lord. Oh, good Lord.
Oh, what have we got in here?
Because I only hang around with very high-pitched women who talk in a sort of 1970s surprise way. Oh, good Lord. No, I said good Lord because I just thought I'll subtly move the mic. This is how lazy I am.
Yeah.
Rather than move away from the microphone,
Yeah.
I thought I'll just push the microphone away. I'll just do that instead of that. And I thought, but this, quite a smooth table that has got...
It moves.
But it's got a grip underneath.
That's right.
I don't know if
Sticky.
you detected this, but the listeners will have. Listen.
Yeah, there it is.
That's
There
the
it is.
noise, yeah.
No, we definitely heard that as
Yeah.
well.
Oh,
Just
that's
for-
okay.
Quite jarring,
'Cause
actually.
It's the noise that you get, in the films when it's the new things like when the Godzilla appears or the giant creatures, and they'll be in the car like that, and there's just a silence, and they'll just
Oh,
go,
yeah.
"Do you think something's happening?" And you'll hear. It's not doing it now. It's not doing it.
You can't force it.
It was meant.
Hang on, I think you're going for this. Hang on.
Oh, you moved it towards you.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, yeah. Yep. That screams dinosaurs.
It does, doesn't it?
Is this even entertainment?
It is. I think people are leaning in and turning the radios up a little.
I really love this. I could do this for the next hour.
Because I'd listen to it.
I
Yeah,
would.
that's what I.
And people are in their cars, and that's what you want. If you're sitting there, if you're in traffic and you're just applying your brakes, you want to hear that, don't you?
But yeah.
On the radio, you want to hear.
That sounded like a humpback whale recording. That really deep one
We
you got
should-
going on there.
Oh, yeah, that's
Did you hear
what
that
the-
one? That
Yeah.
We should take calls
it's
on.
more of
We
a
should take
dinosaur
calls
again.
on what you think the animal is
That'd be-
that's
you
coming
don't-
through.
Because
That'd
that's the
be fun.
thing, like if you're in the car and you're listening to the radio,
Yeah.
and there's like an advert, and you hear it
beep beep.
like that, and you're driving, you always go whoa like
Yes,
that.
yes.
And or if there's a
That's
sort
true.
of, you know what I mean?
So
But
do you think that people
Think there's a
currently think
whale?
there's a dinosaur or a whale?
I think that they'll just imagine how freaked out would you be if they're just listening to that, and we're going, oh, there's a whale, and they look behind them, and in the car behind, like squashed right in, like when a fish, if you get a fish in a tank and it just grows massive, and it's squeezed itself in like that, and it's got.
He's on the way to work. He's on the way to work. Of
course he is.
He's an accountant. He's an accountant.
Sorry, of course.
Well, he's got in Japan where they have the fellas on the subway that push the
Yes.
to
I've
get them
seen
all
this.
in.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
obviously those guys, the Japanese, they love the harpooning, don't they? They love harpooning the whales.
Yeah.
Anyone Japanese who loves whales, they're gonna go. They can't hang around in Japan.
No.
They've got to come to this country.
true.
Yeah.
And they've got to get a day job.
And they
They
push
push them in the
push
car.
them into the best one is
In-
like a minivan or something with a back.
Yeah.
And the wheel
Combi van.
goes in.
Oh yeah,
Perfect.
Combi van.
just slides in there.
You,
He just slides
you'd
in.
have to go
Tail
back the tail in.
Yeah.
You think back? I think put the head in first,
and then
Get-
you'd
get-
fold the tail around.
That's what I think. But Ross,
It's
I'm
not-
interested to
it's
hear
not- You're a
tail
bit of a-
first.
Snappy spine, I reckon. I reckon what he does is I reckon
but then
he
he's got to
opens-
fit in.
but he opens the back door,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He backs in through the side door.
Through the side
Oh,
door.
through the
He's
side
a
door.
whale.
Yeah, but it's a combi van, isn't
But
it?
it's a sliding door.
Sliding
Oh,
door.
It's a sliding door.
sliding door.
Yeah.
You see?
Okay.
I'm
So
saying,
my-
Oh,
I'm
you
saying
didn't
that.
mention that.
No,
co-
but I said
Okay.
traditional transit or
Okay. Yeah, see, transit, I'm with you.
transit or when you said combi, That's your traditional
Your
side
Tarago.
slide.
door.
Your
And that's-
Tarago.
Tarago,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, with
or
the
a-
seats down.
Or a Kia Carnival.
Kia Carnival.
Kia
Great
Carnival.
car.
That's what, you know,
Yeah.
flip the back open.
Or if he's a
wheel
bit
goes
fancy,
to-
I'm pretty sure you can get Merc vans, which have sliding doors on the sides as
Ooh.
well.
It's the Vito, I believe,
Yeah,
is the.
that's right.
They never do this
Yeah.
on Top Gear, do they?
How would a whale get in this car?
Exactly.
It's a great car.
Well,
It's got good speed. How would you get a whale in here?
It's that old joke, isn't it? How do you get, you know, it was like how many things you get in a Mini? There's
Yeah.
is that, do people know this? There's a,
I'm not
I've
sure.
never heard it, but carry on. I want to hear it
It was
now.
like, how do you get two wheels in a Mini straight down the M4? Now, that only works if you're aware of the country of Wales. It only works if you're familiar with the
The
concept
M4 is the freeway that connects.
London to Wales.
Right.
Yeah.
You see? But I mean,
Now
it's
I'm
quite. I mean, obviously here you've got New South Wales,
That's right.
but there's no such thing
You
as
struggle for the,
you know. How do you
it's
get
tough.
to New South
New South
Wales?
Wales.
Unless there was a type of whale called the New. There's the Southern Right whale.
So how do you get
There
the South whale? How do you? Oh no, it's
You'd
hard,
say
isn't
straight
it?
from
And we've got some
Melbourne,
new
you'd say
ones.
straight up the Hume, I'd say.
Straight up the Hume. How do we get those new southern whales into
No,
the
southern,
car?
the southern. It's the Southern Right whale.
It's the southern
Ah,
one.
it doesn't
Yeah.
quite work.
But
does
it'd
it?
be nice if there was a New South Whale.
There should be.
Yeah.
There really should
absolutely
be, shouldn't
Yeah.
they? I think they've
I'd
missed
never
an
thought about
opportunity
that.
there.
Only hangs around Tasmania.
Yeah, he's a
You
bit of
know?
a prick like that. He doesn't
Yeah.
even hang out in his
What's-
in his
what's-
own state.
What's your favourite whale?
It's a great question.
I'm a big.
really
I am,
good question.
I am a really big humpback guy. I reckon they're
Ah,
amazing.
You've gone old school. You've gone classic
Yeah.
whale.
I really
Very
like
pop-
them though,
very
because
commercial
I really
decision,
like.
I'd say.
I was watching on this doco
Yeah.
that apparently, like they know they've got all this footage of them courting female whales, humpback
go.
whales, right?
Yeah.
Where the bulls will almost
Courting.
they'll charge each other. So she'll be swimming by herself and they'll be trying to show off around her and then bump the other one off the path. And then once she chooses the bull, they dive to depths of like, a kilometre under the sea, and no one's ever seen the mating go on. They
Oh,
just
so
know
they're
that
very
it
private
happens.
about
They
it,
just
yeah.
duck down. They're like, all right, piss off everyone.
I mean, I
privacy.
think that doesn't say a lot about the whale, does it? The
I
fact
love
that
that.
No, but
It's
the fact
they're
they-
private.
Well,
you
what do you
know?
mean? What do you
they're
mean?
bumping into each other in the sea.
Yeah.
The one place you shouldn't be bumping into each other.
Yeah,
Do you know
well,
what I
Oh,
mean?
so there's so much space.
Exactly. That's all the
They're trying to
sea
get
is.
the other males out of there, so he'll just ram into him, and then the female goes, "Yeah, you've done the best ramming thus far. You can come with me.
Come down to the
Come down to the depths."
The ramming is sort
come
of
down to the depths. That's the most romantic thing I've ever
I'll
heard.
have you.
Well,
I'll
no,
have you at the bottom of the
the
ocean.
amount of times when I was a single man, where I used to go to nightclubs, basically looking for women who looked like krill. And I would have a big brush-like front on, and I'd walk out and go, "Excuse me, you're very beautiful. Would you like to come down to the depths?" What I would do there. Of course, they got they have the brushes. You know the
Yeah, that's
they have
right.
Who has a brush?
What's it called? Balin, isn't it called?
Yeah,
what's it
they-
The whales. The-
You're listening to commercial radio.
Do you want to know what my favourite whale is?
I'd love to.
It's actually on my ass.
Behave yourself.
No. Well,
Come on.
After all
This
that,
is-
after
it
all
is.
that come, and then we've done full circle on you,
No,
and this
God.
is incredible.
This better not be a sperm whale. Shut up.
Shut up!
Is
How
that-
have we
is-
done
is-
that?
Is that a manatee?
How have we? It is. You know.
It's-
Oh
it
damn
is.
it! You know, here's the thing though. I asked for a dugong, and
Yeah.
I got a
Can
manatee.
you stop it?
Sorry.
It's just, sorry, you are flashing our guest.
Sorry, Ross. Sorry.
You've got a manatee.
I've got a manatee on my
Yeah.
ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At first,
Yeah.
to be honest, how old are you now?
29.
29. Give it a few years, it'll look like a dugong. That's all I'm saying.
It's actually my spirit animal.
Yeah.
That's why he got that on his ass, and I actually
Nice.
have
Yeah.
on mine.
Oh my God.
Did you think
I
you were
have-
going to see two
I
asses
have-
this morning,
I
Ross?
have Woody's spirit animal, which is
Sweet Jesus.
a meerkat.
Oh, a meerkat.
Yeah. And then they talk through.
Oh, I see.
So do you wanna see our asses together?
Oh my God.
I feel like I feel like
the full
you
picture.
have
We have to do the
Sweet
full
Lord
picture for you now.
Jesus.
You're the
Like-
first person we've done
Has
this
this
for.
come
Yeah.
out on the? Has this come out on the show
Yeah,
before?
it happened on the show. That's what
Right,
happened.
okay.
All
This
right, so
actually-
I have to get this off.
Oh,
Right.
it's not going to be the full arse part.
No, well, I hope
Oh
not.
Jesus. Oh, I see.
No, you got you're smothering him.
Ross, can you direct us? Are they
Wait,
joined?
you're gonna have to turn more.
You have to
You're
tilt
gonna
in.
sort of face each other, really.
Oh, you got to tilt in.
You've got to, yeah.
How's
That's
that?
it. It's not even close.
We need to work on that. If we're gonna show it off, we need to get that.
You know what? That is the most beautiful thing. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank you.
if you know, why wouldn't you? And what oh, so many questions. It's quite no, it's quite
Sorry about that.
quite extraordinary.
Yeah.
So you when did this? Have you talked about this on the show before?
What happened? So what happened is we were doing different things for each of Australia's World Cup games. We had no rights to the World Cup. We had nothing. Like we really had to scrap. We also had no budget in general. But the game against Peru, we asked people what they thought we could do for the game against Peru to celebrate Australia's game against Peru.
Right.
This dude caught up and said, "You guys should do an Inca trail." Where there's a tattoo which connects one of you to the other one. And then we let the people decide what they thought that tattoo should be.
Yeah.
Right.
Hence the spirit animals and the tin cans talking to each other.
And how did you come back? Because obviously a manatee. I mean, I love dugong. Don't get me wrong.
The
How did you-
dugong that is my spirit animal, but she drew a manatee, and we only found out the
by
next day
accident.
that it was a manatee.
We actually we had a marine biologist call the show and say, "Sorry, mate, that's not a dugong."
Hang on a second. I don't claim to be a marine biologist, but straight away I knew it was.
No, that was really impressive.
Yeah,
I didn't
that
even
was
know what a
impressive.
manatee was
Well, you
before
do
it was
now.
on my ass.
Wow.
Ross,
And how do you come up with the spirit animals? How do you?
Oh, good question. It really just comes down to what you connect with, and then the attributes that you can attach to the animal which you see in yourself.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
so
so
you like peeking over walls when you feel threatened.
No, that's
No,
Woody's.
so
that's
I'm
Woody's.
on
I
his ass,
see,
Yeah,
right,
and
and he's
okay.
on my.
Yes.
Oh, I
and
get
mine
it. So,
tush.
yes, of
Yeah,
course.
That's right.
Yes.
But he does like peeking over walls when he feels threatened.
Right.
I do.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And the great thing is as well is that I'm not sure. Well, actually, no. If for whatever reason
Yeah.
this beautiful bond is broken,
Yeah. Yeah.
I see a way out. Right.
Yeah.
What you need to do is get braces tattooed on it, pass it off as Huey, the chef.
What? As in,
That's the fella. That's the
how do
fella.
you know Huey?
Because I watch television.
You'll love this story.
I love the fact. I love the fact that you just go, "How do you know Huey?" Like that's the big thing. Not like, "How do you know so much about dugongs?" And then what you could do is you could have the rest of the cast of The Lion King.
Yeah,
Smart.
that's true.
I'll put Pumbaa.
I'm covered.
On the full.
I'm covered. On both sides, you'd have Rafiki's butt in the middle as the butthole.
Smart.
As well.
That's actually really
The,
smart.
baboon.
or you
Yeah.
could have in your actual arse
In the
crack.
crack. In
Yeah.
the
You
crack.
could have Mufasa. He's
On the cliff.
like his claws like
Yeah.
this.
Oh, then
on
you
On the
bend
side,
over.
and then
So
you open
as
it
you
out.
bend, and it's him like, and his mouth. Let's not go there, but
No,
like
no.
his wide eyes, and he's got, and then you could have, you know, when there's the stampede,
Yes,
the wildebeest
Yeah.
stampede.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, you know, if you
I've got options.
A
I've
partic-
definitely got
a
options.
particularly heavy stool
Yep.
Yes.
could represent
wildebeest.
Pride Rock.
It
Pride
could-
Rock, is that
the
what you're
wildebeest emerging.
Going over, or you could actually have Scar's hand leaning down into the arse, trying to pick up Mufasa hanging from the cliff, which is the arse.
Yeah.
That's great.
Here's
I
a,
mean, look,
here's a-
look I, I've got lots of options.
Sorry.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Before we get
Can I
stuck into
just-
the Lion
sorry,
King,
just
carry on. Carry on.
while we're on the Lion King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do a massive name drop here, right?
Okay,
Do it.
great.
Ready for this?
Awesome.
This is a bit massive clanger, right?
Pumped.
Jeremy Irons. Right?
Yeah,
Huge.
wow.
Wow.
Jeremy, a
A
Massive.
friend of yours, or
Not a friend of mine, but I.
Sorry. You wrecked his story now. Friend? No, worse. No, go on.
No. I was not a friend of mine, but I ended up through a long. It's a. I live
Sequence of events.
I live an unusual and glittering showbiz life. I ended up having a fish and chip dinner with him.
shut up.
Wow.
That's all I'm saying.
Shut up. He'd
Wow.
be up there with one of my top people to meet. He's
It's
epic.
quite extra and very ornate shoes.
Very-
Always very ornate shoes.
Really?
Always,
Oh,
always
interesting,
has
yeah.
fancy
Like
shoes. on.
loafers
Anyway,
or...
like boots, but with many buckles going in different
Interesting.
directions, right? He's known for it. So, this is terribly name drop. I do apologize.
No, it's okay. It's all right.
So I was doing a show. Basically, so I'm doing a show in London last year. I was in a musical in the West End. Yeah. There's a restaurant around the corner. Myself and my co-star went to the restaurant between two shows, and then my mate who was in Long Day's Journey into Night with Jeremy Irons, right?
Yeah.
Great.
So the two of them, they're acting together.
Yeah.
He's come in. He's in the theatre next door.
Yeah.
Irons has come in, right?
We're just calling him Irons now.
Why not? Why not? I don't want to call him Jezza.
I thought you would.
Mr. Irons has come in. Anyway, he's spotted my mate who I'm in the show with.
Yeah.
Dear boy, come and join it. So we ended up, we had a fish and chip dinner.
Wow.
Right? I mean, it's fancy fish and chips. Anyway, the point I was going to make, right? And that's the end of the story. I'm proper showbiz. No. So the upshot is that I ended up having this. But the weird thing was, couldn't get Scar out of my head. So because his voice is so distinctive, and this must be his entire life, because it's one of those things where you just be sat there and he'd like turn to the waiter and that, could you pass the tomato sauce? And you go, it's literally
it's Scar.
Pass the tomato sauce. Can't get it out of your head.
No,
I know that in a past. He's really like, you know exactly what you're dealing with.
You guys doing it. It's such a distinct voice. You're right, and you can never
What's
trust him.
that line that I love when he does "Be prepared"? That are as fat as a warthog's backside. It's really like
that's quite good, actually.
glittery. Like, it's almost like it's so sinister, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
do you feel like he's
imagine
evil?
that with a mouthful of chips.
Oh,
You
and
feel
just
like he's
in normal
evil?
life.
Is he evil when you're talking to him?
He actually killed his own brother during dinner. No, he didn't.
And on that note,
I love the fact there was a pause there where you went, did he?
Wait, I need
unusual.
to, before we got on to Jeremy, and I loved the name drop, but the other name drop, which
Cut
we...
that out. It's too
No. We have a name drop for you.
Go on.
Mate.
wait for it.
You mentioned
Oh, yes, Huey.
who the manatee might be. Well, Ian Huey Hewitson, the man himself, came on the show.
Yeah.
We had him on the show. We actually invented a sushi roll recently. Long story. Won't go into it.
Right.
It's a spring roll and a sushi roll, just a spoiler. It's not that good.
Can't get it anymore. It was only on there for a week.
Yeah.
But it was
Sold all right.
it was okay.
It was in the top 20.
We'll move past
Yeah,
it.
sorry.
So we had this sushi roll, and we needed a celebrity chef, obviously, to come in, try the roll, check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't get anyone worthwhile. Tried your master chefs.
Yeah.
I think we pretty much tried every celebrity chef on the
We
planet.
went for Jamie.
We went for
Jamie Oliver,
We had
he
a
was
great
busy.
Jamie.
Yeah.
You probably know him. Met him?
Jamie?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah, I've met him a couple of
absolute
times, yeah.
Ramsey? Gordon Ramsay?
Ramsey, no, never met Ramsey.
Okay. Yep.
Well, we tried these guys,
Yeah.
and the only person that we could get was Ian Huey Hewitson, who was kicking off a YouTube channel at the time.
Of course.
Huey comes in, goes to go and try the spring roll, right? And then only at the last minute did one of our producers come running in to remind us that he actually had an allergy to shellfish. Have a listen to this. I've actually got it on the sound. What are you
allergic to?
Crustaceans.
How do you make a pocket?
Make it with fish.
So we brought a celebrity chef in who...
Someone, a producer's
so
being fired.
classic. We've brought a celebrity chef. Sack him.
First of all, they don't laugh at my joke. Then they try to kill me. Fair bloody
strikes.
I'm not coming here again.
He had this like sushi roll right in front of him. He's about to put it in his mouth, and our producer comes right in. She goes, "He's allergic to crustaceans."
What, and he didn't think this through?
Didn't twig.
Well,
it
no,
all.
it was a blind tasting.
testing.
Oh, right.
So he had no idea, and then get this: the next day, the news cycle's going. New radio host try to kill Ian Huey Hewitson.
But what's great about that is if you had killed him, the fact that you blindfolded a man and killed him it's not. That's not just an accident.
No, it looks bad.
That's a
doesn't it?
cold-blooded
For
assassin.
murder.
Yeah.
I don't think that we would have been plausibly able to argue manslaughter there. That looks crook. You blindfolded him, you sat him down in the studio, you recorded it, and you murdered him on the radio
And then you
show.
tattooed his his dead body onto your arse. Shocking. Absolutely shocking.
Oh man, Ross Noble, this has been fun.
Yeah.
You have got just a great mind to explore, and he's got a brand new show called El Hablador,
Yeah.
which I think is, as I've read in the description, purely just a way of creating a title which sounds mysterious.
Yeah, it's not. It's
but
not.
it's got
at all.
nothing to
just a
do
thing.
with.
So I sort of did the major tour. I did the comedy festival. I did all the rounds and stuff.
Yeah.
So I've put on some extra dates.
And this is great. This is for everybody outside of the major cities.
Yes.
Yeah.
So so these are the dates that I missed. So yeah, look, rossnoble.com. It's all on there.
Great.
Great.
I feel like I've got so many things to ask you. But
I'll come back.
you want to
Great.
come back.
I'll come
It'd be
back.
great for you to come back.
We'd love you to come back.
I'd love to come back.
We'd love you to come back. Mate,
I'm
thank
not-
you so much for coming in.
Why don't I get just a tattoo on my bum cheeks, just of the string?
I love it.
Oh, you're just in
Oh,
between.
then we can all.
Mate.
I will come back, but I'll just say that is a joke. That's not happening.
You're not coming back.
I am coming back.
No, he's
You are
not
coming
getting
back,
the
but you're
tattoo.
not doing
I'll come
the.
back. I'm not
Come
getting-
on, you just have to get a line.
It's a
yeah.